Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's video. This week I'm going to be giving you a life update kind of video. Also like a Q&A to the end, so stick to the end, please. So I first of all want to thank everyone who has been watching my videos, who's been subscribing, liking, especially if you've been commenting. I don't think you realize like how important that is until you become a YouTuber. How much those things mean. Just subscribing, seeing those numbers go up is just like, so exciting. So thank you so much to everyone who has done that, who has stuck along through these videos. It has been such a learning curve for me because I am just not a tech savvy person. This whole editing thing is like right over my head, but I am slowly learning the tricks of the trade, just trying to figure it all out. So I want to start also with the purpose of my YouTube channel. I want to kind of bring it back because I think life is all about balance, first of all. So one of the things I've been struggling with in this whole YouTube thing is that I feel like I don't want my content to be so shallow. I'm trying to hide an AirPod. Sorry. You've found out. My friend recommended this because outside the wind and stuff, and the AirPod would hopefully work better. So hopefully this is working better. But anyways, bunny trail. But I think life is all about balance. And I don't want my content to be just shallow. Like, I was watching the Easter video again, and I was like, who cares what I got Eleanor for Easter when souls need to be saved? You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of an all or nothing person, and this YouTube journey is like, it's a game almost. Like, it's like trying to keep your audience engaged and entertain them, which I know is what people want. But on the same token, I also want to produce some content that is like faith-based and is genuinely useful to the soul, if that makes sense. I know that's a lot, might be too much, but basically the point is I want to have balance on this channel. I want to be able to share what I got Eleanor for Easter because, again, these are also memories for me to look back on. But I also want to share some deep things with you that I think the Lord is either speaking to me or just a word that is helping me lately, those kind of things, because people need real stuff. They don't just need cleaning videos, you know? So this channel is going to be kind of diverse, but I'm really excited to see, again, where this whole thing ends up. So anyways, thank you so much again for sticking along with me. If you have stuck along this far, I have been up to a lot. Just wanted to give you some updates for as far as life goes. Eleanor turned 9 months old yesterday. I'm recording this Thursday, and you guys will see it on Saturday, but she turned 9 months old yesterday on April 19th. She's just getting so big, and I know every parent says that, oh my gosh, time flies and she's getting so big, but it is like heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time to really see it happening. And I think lately I have really been able to step back and enjoy her. I think for a season there, for a few months of her life, which I know it's only been 9, but motherhood in that first year of life, I feel like is just like a roller coaster. But I think I really have been able to step back and enjoy watching her just discover things and learn and be more mobile, and it's just so beautiful. My heart just finds so much joy in just being able to do that, just to see it. Be her mama is just, it's been the best thing ever. So I encourage you mamas, if you just had a newborn and it's like they don't do anything but lay there and sleep and eat and that's about it, it's gonna get more exciting. But that's kind of an update on my sweet girl. I have my notebook down here so I can kind of cheat and see where I need to move on to the next point. But I also wanted to update you on my sourdough. I've never really officially told you guys, but I have really struggled to make sourdough bread. I like to overcomplicate everything, and I tried to start my own starter, didn't work. Many times. I mean, trial and error, many times didn't work. So I ended up buying one off an Etsy shop. Finally, that worked. But then trying to like get the schedule down pat with like trying to work around Ellie too was just crazy. But yesterday, April 19th, marking the date, I made my first successful loaf of sourdough bread, and it was so yummy. It's a smaller loaf, but I did eat half the loaf myself, and Ellie had a few bites. And then I shared some others with my family. But I last night started 2 more loaves and baking them today, so super excited about that. I am just if you have ever tried to make bread, it is so rewarding and fun. It really is. It really makes you feel like a homemaker. But sourdoughs, I think since it's such a long process, it's so fulfilling when you actually get it to work. So I found a recipe that was working for me. Also, I'm going to be uploading a video soon, possibly the next video, on a garden video. So I started my garden. We've done this a few years back. I guess it was 2 years ago. We built some raised garden beds, and it turned out really well. And then last summer, we had, Ellie. So we had some tomatoes that had like died and then grown up on their own, like totally them by themselves. And so we got lots of tomatoes off of that. But we didn't plant anything last year because, like I said, we had a newborn, or I was really pregnant and it just wasn't about to happen. But this year we are picking it up again, and I am so excited for Ellie just to get to experience that. Even though she's only 9 months old, just the experiences are so important for her. I am graduating, which is where I will move on to the next point. I'm graduating with my associates in early childhood education, so all things learning just make my heart flutter. She's learning everything, and it's so beautiful, and I get to help her discover that. It's just so much fun. So the garden is like a great way for her just to touch dirt. Like, she put her little toes in dirt, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so wholesome and sweet. Feel the dirt with your toes, yes. I'm all about that stuff. It's just wonderful. So that's kind of the life update. I'm really in a good place, I think, right now mentally. Not always that way, but I have a great group of moms I've been meeting with. I shared on that Week in the Life video. If you've not watched that video, please go back and watch it. Mom's Bible study group is just going so well. We kind of did some vision casting our last meeting, just to make sure that we're all getting out of it what we want to as moms. A place that we can just be open with each other and build each other up with scripture, with prayer, and just be there for one another, because mamas need it, especially stay-at-home moms. I mean, moms all alike. I really thought that being a stay-at-home mom would be easier, but as we mentioned in our group, it can be very isolating to be a stay-at-home mom. But I think it's even harder for mamas who work. My heart goes out to working mamas, and I know also what that's like from a point of view of being in childcare and working and taking care of someone else's baby while they were working. Because I could not imagine not being able to be there with Ellie. And I know every situation is different, and financially people have to work. I'm not downing any situation because every situation is different. But I am so thankful to the Lord. And again, like I mentioned earlier, recently, just been so grateful for this time that I've had with Ellie, to see her to start to discover things. I mean, like the most random things. And I try to let her play with just anything, as long as it's safe, obviously. But like, she got in my bag of potatoes and onions the other day, and she was just playing with them and just lifting them up. And I mean, I don't know, I guess when you've gone to school and like, the things that are really happening in their development to come to life, it's like, it's just absolutely beautiful. She's pulling up on things. I think she'll be walking in the next month or two. She is really getting mobile, which means a lot more work for me. But yeah, it's awesome. Another big life update that I want to tell you guys about is a youth ministry that our church is starting. All right, guys, so I know this is like many hours later and the angle is different and stuff. I apologize. I'm going to finish this video up very soon here. So the last big life update I wanted to announce to you guys is that we are starting a youth ministry in our church. And that is not the big news that I discussed in my Week in the Life of Ministry video. So if you haven't watched the Week in the Life of Ministry video, I said that we had a meeting and there was some really big news that I was oblivious to. That is not the news. So stick around, because that news is coming very soon and it's bigger than this. But starting a youth ministry is super big. We're super excited. God is going to do some amazing things. My dad was a youth pastor for years and years and years. When we merged churches, he stepped down from that position, and now he is back at it. So we're super excited about that. We're having a kickoff event Sunday, and you guys are seeing this video on Saturday. So if you're around Sanford, North Carolina, and you would love to come to that, if you go to riseassembly.org, you can go and find where the location of our church is. It's from 4 to 7. It's just a youth kickoff event. So we're going to have games and pizza and some worship and a message. So it's going to be awesome. Lots of different youth groups from different churches are coming. It's going to be an awesome time. So I cannot wait to see what God is going to do through this youth ministry. Super exciting. Let's get to the Q&A now. So I asked over on Instagram and my Facebook account some for you guys to ask me some questions, and I did get a few. If you want to follow me on Instagram to keep up with me there, I share a little bit more on there. But on Instagram, I got a question about my favorite part of being a young mama, and I think, even though it may seem cliche, I think it's just being there, being present in her life for every moment. And again, as I mentioned before, I know every situation's different, and some mamas can't. They have to work and things like that. But my favorite part is just being there, present with her. You know, sometimes life is good, sometimes life is not so good, and she's a baby, so some days she has good days and some days she has bad days, but I get to be there for it all, and it's just so sweet. It really just makes my heart feel so full. So that is probably my favorite part, is just those little moments with her, the everyday mundane moments with her, and seeing her hit those milestones. Oh, it's just wonderful. And then I got a few more questions from my sweet sister-in-law on Facebook, and one of the questions was, when do me and Joshua want to have more kids, or do we want to have more kids? I can't remember exactly. And the answer to that question, really realistically, is in about 3 years. We have said, after we had Eleanor, that after Joshua gets done with PA school, which will be in about 3 years, give or take, we would like to start trying for another baby. So we definitely do want another one, you know, if that's in the Lord's will for our life, but we would like to wait, enjoy her, and just be a family of 3 for a little bit. So we think 3 years is a good time to start trying again. That's the plan right now, so we'll see. And then another question she had was, how do I keep my house so clean? And again, that goes back to, you see the edited version of my life, and my house is not always clean. I would say one of the biggest things I'm learning is really, again, one of those cliche quotes, but less is more. Seriously, the less stuff you have, the easier your home is to manage, because the more stuff you have, no matter if you have a big home or a small home, the more stuff you have, you still have more stuff to manage. So the less stuff you have, I'm a minimalist by no means, but that lifestyle is just very enticing to me because I like the simplicity of it, and I like just the bare minimum. I have a lot more than just what I need, thank you Jesus, but that is what I would recommend, is just decluttering and getting rid of stuff. I love throwing stuff away. If I haven't used it in a while, I'm like, let's just chunk it. Joshua, on the other hand, is not so much like that, but that's what makes us so good together. He knows what's the important things to keep. And then the last question was, do I plan to homeschool Eleanor? And that is a great question. Like I said, I don't really say for sure we're going to do this, but that is the plan. I would love to. You know, I did get my associates in early childhood education, and I was planning before that to go and pursue my bachelor's degree in education, actually special education at one point. But things change, plans change, and that's why I say at the moment, yes, we are planning on homeschooling her at the moment, because plans sometimes change. It's just a dream of mine. So being able to teach her and giving her those real life experiences at home, and she has so many cousins, and we are involved in church, and we could always do co-ops, different things like that. There's so many opportunities now, other than public school or even private schools. So that is the plan right now. So thank you so much for asking me all those questions. I had so much fun answering them. As that is a wrap to this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please give it a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what you would like to see more of, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.